Yo, what is up guys? How's it going today? My name is SarahTube, and today I'm bringing you a guide on how to flip with 25 million GP in Old School Runescape. This guide is for players who are interested in learning how to leverage their 25 mil GP cash stack to actually make more money in Old School Runescape, and I'll show you how to do that by using the Grand Exchange. 25 mil is a great starting amount to learn how to flip in Old School Runescape, so I'm going to be showing you the best items you should be flipping with the 25 mil cash stacks, the tips and strategies you should be taking to make maximum GP per hour. Anyway, if you guys do enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like, and without further ado, let's make some freaking bank. With a 25 million GP cash stack, you are going to be primarily focusing on high volume items. These are items such as blood runes, cooked sharks, even raw sharks, items that are traded a lot in game, which tend to flip a lot faster, but have a smaller margin than, higher margin items. If you are having trouble distinguishing high volume items in Old School Runescape, or you're not exactly sure what they are, I highly recommend you go check out the top 100 traded items in Old School Runescape. This is a site on the Old School Runescape's official page, which shows the top 100 most traded items in the game. All of these items would be considered high volume items because high volume basically means that they're being traded a lot. The Old School Runescape's top 100 traded items list is a great place to start if you're looking for high volume items to actually flip. But if you need more items, I highly recommend you go check out my Discord group. There is a link in the description below. I have made a personal list on there which has a ton of high volume items that you can flip with, and it's completely free to use. Now, because we are focusing on high volume items, the first item I went ahead and listed was the Dragon Arrow. This is currently going to be flipping for a 7 GP margin for us, and the limit that you can buy every 4 hours off the Grand Exchange is 11,000. So this is going to be a great flip to start us off, and it only costs us about 5.4 mil into 1 GE slot. You'll also have noticed that I put a lot of my capital towards the Dragon Arrows, and that's because I know it is a pretty good item to flip, so I'm comfortable going in and spending the entire limit and trying to get it to actually all buy out so we can make a good profit off of it. On top of that, another great item to flip would be the Lowrisk scales. Now, Lowrisk scales are really powerful because the limit is 30,000 every 4 hours, so you can really buy a lot of Lowrisk scales in a short time frame. And what the reason these are so good is because most of the time you're going to have a 2 GP margin at least on the Lowrisk scales. So if you think about it, if you flip 30,000 Lowrisk scales and you do a 2 GP margin on them, which is usually the minimum that I will flip them for, then that is 60k right off the bat. It's really quick, and it is one of the safest flips. The Lowrisk scale is on the top 100 most traded items in Old School Runescape, so it is a very highly traded and stable item. But again, the margin on these Lowrisk scales is only 1 GP, so if the margin is only 1 GP, I tend to avoid it. The next item we went ahead and actually listed was the Blood Rune. These are currently buying for 380 GP and selling for 384 GP. It costs us about 3.8 mil to put in the limit of the Blood Runes, which of course is 10,000 every 4 hours. I love flipping Blood Runes. They flip super fast, and recently the margins have been really good. I think it has something to do with Ashihama. I'm not entirely sure, but Blood Runes, really quick and really effective flip. The next item we went ahead and listed was the Mana Ray. Now, the Mana Ray is buying for 1,443 GP each, and we're going to turn around and sell them for 1,448 GP each. As you can see, I have not listed the full limit of the Mana Rays, which I believe is 10,000 every 4 hours. It's either 10,000 or 11,000, but as you can see, I have not listed the entire limit because it would be too expensive. If this flip does work out for us though, we can go back and flip another quantity of them, that meaning another 2,500 of these, and we'll see if we can get a good profit on those. I love flipping the Mana Rays with a 25 mil cash stack because A, Mana Rays flip pretty fast, and B, the profit is also pretty decent. So we're gonna see if this works out for us here. I love flipping Mana Rays. I highly recommend trying it out. Before we go ahead further into the video, I know a lot of you have questions about how long you should leave your flips in waiting to buy and sell, and this is really a personal preference, kind of like a personal feel that you get as you become a more experienced flipper, especially with different kinds of items and different item categories. But for me personally, when I'm flipping high volume items, I use the general rule of not waiting any more than 5 minutes if an item has not progressed. If you can see that an item is continuously continuously buying over, a period of time, then I wouldn't be worried about it. If an item is still buying, that means your price listing is correct. If an item has not bought, especially a high volume item, after about 5 or 6 minutes, I would readjust your pricing and try to get some more to buy. Now, if you are waiting to sell, usually I will wait longer on the sell offer. I will usually hold a high volume sell offer for about 10 to 12 minutes, and if it does not start to sell, I will adjust my pricing. Of course, this varies a lot. For example, if you are buying the item at its lowest price and then the margin shifts downwards to where you are no longer making a profit or even losing money, then sometimes these special scenarios require you to hold the item longer or immediately sell it to kind of negate any further losses. These again are personal scenarios, so I'm not going to go into them in depth here. We do have more videos on that on my channel if you would like to check them out. But for now, just about 5 to 6 minutes on the buy offer if it's not moving, and 10 minutes max on the sell offer if it is also not moving. I went ahead and listed the sharks here, which I know I was briefly talking about before. We've got a buy offer of about 1,240 GP, looking to sell that for about 1,245 GP each. Hoping this is going to work out for us so I can show you the power of the manta rays and the sharks. And as you guys can see, the sharks have already bought, which is crazy. I literally just listed them and was about to get to my next item here, which we'll touch on in a minute, but crazy. They've already bought before I could barely finish my previous listing. The next item I've gone ahead and listed is the monkfish. Now, currently, these are flipping for the same margin as the sharks, which is really, really good. With monkfish, most of the time, you're going to get about a 3 GP margin, so I'm very happy that we're looking at a 5 GP margin right now. Monkfish are great. They're kind of just like manta rays and sharks. They flip a very similar speed, but at the same time, they have a higher buy limit for every 4 hours. You can actually buy 13,000 monkfish as opposed to 10,000 sharks or 10,000 manta rays. So this can actually lead to a little bit more extra profit if you get lucky. Today, it looks like we might get lucky and be able to get that extra profit. You'll also notice I listed the limit of the monkfish because they're not as expensive as the sharks and the manta rays. Next up, we have the cannonballs, which I literally just listed them, and they are buying for 188 and selling for 198, which is insanely profitable at this current point in time. I actually do not think that is a true margin, meaning I don't think we're actually going to be able to buy them for 188 or sell them for 198. Usually cannonballs are between a 4 and 5 GP margin, and the difference with cannonballs and why they tend to have a better margin, even though they are very highly traded, is that the cannonball has a buy limit of 7,000 every 4 hours, so people cannot buy as much cannonballs as they can items such as the blood rune or the dragon arrow or other high volume items. We have about 1.75 mil left, so we're going to see what we can do with this to fill up our last couple slots. Now, we've listed our last item using 7 Grand Exchange slots, and we've listed the Diamond Dragon Bolts E. Currently, the margin on these looks really, really good, and when a margin tends to be higher, it actually is a little bit riskier of a flip. So if you've noticed, I've only bought one or put in a buy offer to buy 1,350 Diamond Dragon Bolts E, and this is because this is probably the riskiest flip out of all these other flips here right now. So I've actually balanced out my risk as I've gone through this video because I know a lot of you are still learning how to flip. Maybe you're still getting the hang of how flipping actually works. So I made sure to bring in some very low risk items for you guys, some highly traded low risk items, and the Diamond Dragon Bolts E, while they might be the most profitable and are personally one of my favorite flips, I do not recommend diving into these immediately if you have no flipping experience. If you've flipped high volume items before, then you should be able to do the Diamond Dragon Bolts E with no problem and capitalize on its awesome profits. I decided to put a little timer up just to show you guys. I'm only going to wait about 5 minutes to let these buy offers come through. I'm not going to do any readjustments. I'm just going to turn around and sell them if they come in or not. This video is more to showcase the items for you guys and the strategy behind flipping these items. So hopefully this will succeed though. And I'm again not going to buy the full limits of these items if they don't buy out. But we're going to let this timer run out. And after the 5 minutes up, I'll come back and check out my flips. The timer just hit 0, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what items bought and what didn't, and what we can do about it next time to actually succeed. So the items that we were able to get are the blood runes, the sharks, the monkfish, and the cannonballs, which we have not sold yet, so we're going to turn around and sell those. But items we had to cut back short on were the dragon arrows, mana rays, and the diamond dragon bolts E. I didn't really expect the dragon arrows to buy, since in the beginning we weren't getting a ton, and throughout the video we didn't really get any more. The mana rays, I was a little surprised to buy, to be honest. Usually when I put in a buy offer for these, they almost always completely fill out, even if it takes a little bit. And the Diamond Dragon Bolts E, also pretty surprised by that, but again, that's not as highly traded as some of these other items, excuse the lag here, as some of these other items such as the cannonballs or the monkfish. That's pretty funny. As I was putting my sell offers in, the Diamond Dragon Bolts E actually finished, so we're gonna go ahead and turn around and sell those like it was a completed item. And we have our sell offers in. The dragon arrows basically went immediately. I expect the mana rays to sell pretty fast as well. The cannonballs, the monkfish, and the Diamond Dragon Bolts E I think are going to take a little bit longer. I'm going to wait 10 minutes max, then I'll come back and check things and see how it goes. We will be showing the maximum profit that we have gotten today, but again, this video is not for profit. This is going to show you guys how to flip an old school RuneScape with a 25 mil cash tag, so I'm not exactly profit seeking in this video. If I was seeking purely profits, I'd probably flip with a little bit higher risk, but for this video, I'm just showing you guys the fundamentals, how to get started flipping with a 25 mil cash tag. That being said though, let's talk a little bit more about how to manage a 25 mil GP cash stack while you're flipping. If you guys noticed in my video, I made sure to spread out my money across as many items as I really possibly could, and then at the end, I put it all into the Diamond Dragon Bolts E because I wanted to show off one of the more powerful items. But at the same time, when you are flipping in with only 25 mil GP and you're pretty new, you want to spread out all across, use all your GE slots and spread out your money, because if you spread out along multiple flips, it's a lot less risky than if you were to flip maybe 1 or 2 items with all of your GP. And the reason this is because it's pretty highly likely that you will successfully flip a high volume item. These items are traded a lot and the margins are very stable, and if they fluctuate, it's only 1 or 2 GP, and most of the time I found that it's actually in your favor, but of course it cannot be in your favor at the same time. So if it is not in your favor, instead of flipping 1 to 2 items where if something goes bad, you could potentially lose a lot of money, if you spread out your flips across 7 or 8 items, then your chances of them actually all succeeding are higher, because the chance that you succeed flipping is actually already pretty high, especially with these high volume items. So the more you diversify and spread out across multiple items, the higher likelihood you have of successfully gaining profit during your flipping sessions. That's why I went ahead and showcased 7 items here for you guys to try out yourselves if you'd like. But again, you can also use the top 100 traded items on RuneScape's official page, and there's also a lot of other high volume items that I haven't mentioned in this video, which you can find in other flipping guides that I have here on my channel. If you are still confused on how flipping works, I do recommend you check out one of my beginner flipping guides on my YouTube channel. I walk a step-by-step flip through from start to finish, showing you guys where the profit comes from, how to make money while you're flipping. So if you are interested in that and you're still having trouble learning how to flip, I highly recommend you check that out. We also do live streams at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday. You can ask your personal questions and I will answer them live for you and show you real examples of how I'm flipping an old school RuneScape and making all of my money. If you are somewhat new to flipping and you're flipping with a 25 mil GP cash stack, you will probably get about 500k an hour. If you are a little more experienced, you've done flipping in the past, you know what it is, you know how it works, you will probably make more like 700k to 800k an hour with a 25 mil GP cash stack. The more money you have in old school RuneScape to flip with, the more money that you're actually going to make. So it's actually valuable to save up that cash tag, because you'll actually be able to make more by flipping on the Grand Exchange. We finished up all of our sell offers here. We ended up selling the monkfish for 431 each, and the cannonballs we had to lower to 190 GP each, leaving us with a profit of only 1 GP on those. But we're going to go ahead, collect all of our money here, and wrap it up. thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you guys did enjoy it. This is the introduction guide to flipping with 25 million GP in old school RuneScape. Again, 25 mil is a great place to start flipping, so I hope you took away some of these tips today and you're starting to leverage your cash to make even more cash in RuneScape. Guys, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We have a ton of flipping videos and money making guides that you can take advantage of to get richer in old school RuneScape. And finally, of course, you can join us on Discord. There is a link in the description below. This Discord is an amazing place. We've got over 700 members and it is dedicated to money making and flipping tips and strategies in old school RuneScape. People literally post physical screenshots of their best flips that they've ever done, so I highly encourage you to join this group. It's a great place to share flipping knowledge and strategies with other players. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.